I'd originally written Dula to be a film and had gotten great response on it. With Sissy Spacek interested and everyone like this. There were other stars. It just never happened. And one day when I was in Hawaii doing a show, I met an artist that I had used, Jeanie Cunningham, who was a performer and a singer and a writer, and I asked her if she'd be interested in looking at this script because I had a feeling it could be turned into a very powerful musical. And she said, well, I've never done this before. I'll look at it and see. And eventually she did. And she said, okay, I'll do a song. So my husband and I held our breath to hear what the first song would be. And it was the opening to the show, There Was a Man. And I literally cried when I heard it because she understood the story.
There was a man, there was a man, and he was more than a man in the land where the faint dare not go.
When Paul Elliott approached me about writing the music for his play Dula, this was probably 2001, and I was pretty up to my ears in a lot of music at the time with other projects. So I wasn't really gung-ho on it and didn't jump on it immediately. But ultimately, I did read the script, and once I read the script, I was really intimidated because it was such a beautiful story, and it had so many themes, and the characters were so deep, and there were just so many aspects and dimensions of them that I wasn't really sure I'd be able to carry melodically or lyrically. But once I dove into it, I really got into it. I remember doing the very first song all the way through and playing it for Paul to see if it was going in the direction that he wanted. And he cried, so I figured that was probably a pretty good sign.
He was a man of courage and honor.
He was a coward, an outlaw, a rebel who broke every rule.
He was the best of our kind.
The lyrics kind of came naturally just based on what the characters were doing and how they were feeling. But I was really grateful once I finished it, and it took 7 years to finish. I was grateful that I had been able to be part of something that I consider to be epic.
Sleeping every day in earthly toil.
Side by side we watched the seasons change, and all alone there was a man.
The first time I saw the cast perform this, or the first time I heard them perform it, was in rehearsal. And it wasn't even finished yet as far as all of the tweaking and the detail. But I wept. The big impact was hearing it and hearing the beauty of the music, which I wasn't even certain was going to work. Prior to that, it was all up here and done multi-tracking by myself, so I wasn't even sure if the cast was going to be able to pull it off. David Fiorello, the musical director, was able to hear what I was doing and read what the music was saying and then translate it to an entire class of people who had never heard the music before, teach them how to do it, and execute it in such a way that, wow, for the first time I was like, did I write that? I did.